Hello, my spectacles to desire is but the ghoul next door. Your favorite ghoul fiend.
Hello, my spectacles. I are the blood, the ghoul next door, your favorite ghoul fiend, and this would be episode 18 of my 2026 Halloween series. And today, the bingo task is drawing a vampire. So that's what we're doing today. And I gotta tell you, I pulled something in my back along my shoulder blades, and that one shoulder blade was broken before, and of course it's my dominant arm. So let's get some inspiration. So I picked this up the other day, which you'll actually see more of in an upcoming episode in a couple of weeks. But let's see if we can find something that might inspire a scene. Full honesty, I tried doing this episode a while back and I was not happy with the results. I might throw a photo of it up, a little clip of the result, but I wasn't quite happy with it. I'm staring at Lair of the White Worm. I'm wondering if I should try to do something like that. I want something that really shows the fangs. Okay, let's attempt, see if I can do this without destroying my brand new magazine. Nope. Okay, I'll put it over here on this side. Okay. Let's see what I can accomplish. Just checking. I've got the other one set and it's way up there so that it doesn't get in the way. Lair of the White Worm. It's been a while since I've seen that one. That one was, that movie was based on a, for anybody who doesn't know, a story by, I want to say Stephen King, but no, it was Bram Stoker who did who wrote Lair of the White Worm. Bill Paxton, that is him as Severin in Near Dark. I think that's one of his best roles ever he did. The late, great Bill Paxton. Then we go up. We're going around what should be the eyeball. And we're coming up. And then there's the design, which brings us back around here. And then we have the back of the skull. which is a little wonky on my end. Then the shoulder comes out like this. And down to the arm. Right about here. It's supposed to be the arm. Okay, then around right about here. We have the other arm, and it just drops off. Okay. I didn't prepare anything to talk about. I really didn't. Yeah, wasn't thinking about that part. Okay, let's get the here. So last week was my Spirit Halloween, and I know everyone did Spirit Halloween last week, but that's all right. It's to be expected. That's the trend. So then the nose, we got that there. Yeah. I used to love drawing, and I kind of stopped for a few years. Started focusing on the written blog stuff that I was doing a few years. Well, I did the written blog for, what, 22 years? Something like that. Now, clearly, this is not going to look exactly like this. This is going to be inspired by, because once I get the basic outline, I will fill it in and I will make changes. Yeah, I remember seeing Lair of the White Worm back when it first came out. One of Hugh Grant's first movies. I can't remember the actor who was in that with him. Okay, so this eye. There. Nope. I'm a little low on that one. Okay. Right now it's looking more like Count Chocula. Okay, and then there's a little bit of the... Yeah, this one's going to be a little wonky. Oh well. That's alright. Like I said, I'm going to alter it anyway. The nose. Not my strong point. Yeah, that really looks like Count Chocula. Alright. So I think I've followed it enough that I'm going to start altering some of it. Let's get rid of this. And instead of going all the way down, we'll just kind of make it a little higher. There's not really an eyebrow. It's like an eyebrow bone. So let's do something there for now. Just see where that goes. Now let's work on these eyeballs. Actually, I think my favorite Hugh Grant movie besides Bridget Jones I just hit the camera. Well, phone, actually, the tripod. Other than Bridget Jones, for the longest time, Lair the White Worm was my favorite Hugh Grant movie. It was the first movie I'd seen him in. I really liked About a Boy. I thought that was one of his best. Let's give our vampire a bit of a let's see if I can recreate that, or similar, at least. What is it Trixie Mattel says? They're not sisters, they're cousins. Let's see if I can do that. I'm honestly coming up short for another really, really, really great, in my opinion anyway, Hugh Grant movie. I know everybody loves, no pun intended, Love Actually, but I'm not really a fan. Not really my idea of a good movie. It's okay, but like, it's one of those movies you see it once, you don't really need to see it again. Let's fix this nose a little bit. Make it shorter. Okay, so that means we have to bring these lines up. And now the mouth needs to be brought up. I really should put the layer of the white worm on my to review list if I can find it. I think Tubi has it. I think. For anybody who's been watching my channel for any length of time, did you guys like the Nightbleeds reviews, the vampire reviews? Because I'm toying with the idea of bringing that back once Halloween season is over. Toying with the idea. There's so many vampire movies, and it's like, I know I only ever did, well, I kind of want to keep that thing like that. I only ever did not even a handful of what was in my collection. Some of those movies, sadly, have, and I think I mentioned this, I think I might have mentioned this in episode 7, some of my collection has fallen to disc rot, and I have lost a handful of movies that I'm trying to, some of them I'm trying to repurchase, but some of them are hard to find, rare, ones that are out of print. So I have to kind of, I have to suck it up and just deal with the fact that I've lost some that I'll never be able to replace. We want to give our vampire a tongue. And bottom row of teeth. I might have made that tongue a little too small. So leave me a comment if you want me to bring back the Nightbleeds vampire reviews after Halloween's, excuse me, after Halloween season's over. What do we think? Should I make the lip a little, yeah, let's make the lip a little bigger. Okay, let's work on this ear. I think I want to make it a little more pointy, a little more Spockish. Okay, what can I do about these eyebrows? Because in that, like I said, the original drawing there, or actually it's not a drawing, the original photo, they've covered up the brow completely and done like this. Let me show you again. And done like the makeup is just sprayed right across. So I'm recording, aren't I? Yeah. And if I do bring back the Nightbleeds vampire reviews, are there any vampire movies that's come out in, let's say, the last, well, let's see. It's been 6 years since I've done, so anything that's come out in the last 6 years, that can be considered a vampire movie? Or a zombie movie? Because as we know, the modern zombie movie is inspired and based on the vampire novel I Am Legend. Ooh, that's very that definitely changes our vampire from a female to a male. You know what? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. That eyebrow being that bushy. Okay. Oh, we know that. What did I do last season? Last season for Halloween 2025, I did review Renfield, didn't I? I believe I did. I believe I did a review for Renfield, and I did a review for Rob Zombie's The Munsters. So that's 2 vampire movies that's come out in the last 6 years. And we know that there was that remake of Nosferatu. And of course there was Sinners. I do not have the Disney Plus. I know there was a TV series that came out on, or was that a werewolf? I'm not sure. But anything that was on the Disney Plus, I don't have that channel, so I can't do anything in regards to movie reviews from that. But if it was a vampire movie or zombie movie that's come out in the last 6 years. Oh, there's that one, Abigail. You know what? I still haven't seen that. I should put that on the list. See, there's 3 right there. Nosferatu remake, Sinners, and Abigail. I could do reviews on those. But yeah, if you have a suggestion for a vampire movie that you would like me to do a review of, put it in the comments. Let me know. Let's do something about this here. Erase, erase, erase. Ooh, so thrilling. So thrilling. Well, those eyebrows are definitely uneven. Okay. So where are we going with the hair? Great question. Every time I use the eraser, I'm afraid I'm going to knock over the tripods. Are we still recording? Looks like it. Yep. Let's change the hairdo a little bit. What horror film are you guys looking forward to? Any genre, any subgenre that's supposed to be coming out in the next 6 months or so? Let me know in the comments. I'm looking forward, and I know some people don't consider this a horror film, but Practical Magic 2 is coming out next month at the time that I am recording this, and I am very much looking forward to that movie. And for those of you who've already been to Spirit Halloween for the season, what's been your favorite thing you saw while you were there or bought? Again, let me know in the comments. Okay, I'm going to grab something to color this, and I'll be right back. What do we think? I wonder if that's out of my depth too. Let's be honest, trying to draw anything is out of my depth. But you know, we're having fun. It is a bingo card. I love this scene. Nicolas Cage in Vampire's Kiss when he's running down the street going, "I'm a vampire," and then he bumps into the pole and he he's so out of it, and he's talking to the pole as if it's a real person. I love it. I love that movie so much. That movie came out in what, 1989? My friend and I, way back in grade 9, we rented that the minute it was available to rent, which I think was like, I don't know, did that ever get a cinema release, or was that a straight to DVD? I can't remember, or it would have been straight to VHS back in that time. But we rented Vampire's Kiss, and my friend's mom came in, had a complete meltdown because we rented what she considered something absolutely satanic, which it was just a vampire movie. Like, I couldn't believe her reaction. My friend failed to tell me that her mom was extremely religious. It's like, if she had told me that, we could have watched it at my place instead of watching it at her place. Yeah, so my friend ended up getting grounded because of a vampire movie. Can you believe that? That was back in, like I said, 89. All right, let's see. Where do we want to go first? Oh, trying not to drop everything on the floor. Let's start with, what color do I want to make the eyes? I want to add some orange and lavender. Are you guys liking the cooking? I know a couple of the cooking episodes got some high views. I'm hoping to bring in some more cooking. I'm trying to think of something I can do within my budget and within my physical ability for something different. Let's go with a gray and a violet. Okay, I've got, did I don't even know what I've already said. Some ideas for some new cooking videos, and of course I want to do some more book content. Oh, those two are almost, not quite. And I'm not sure if it's like the recipes I've picked, the movies that I've connected them to, that you guys are liking. I would really, really love some feedback. Is it just my imagination, or does this look a little bit more like Nicolas Cage than it should? Could just be me. That could just be me. I am watching every so often Dark Shadows, the beginning. I haven't even gotten to the vampires yet in Dark Shadows. I'm still, for anyone who's ever watched the series Dark Shadows, I'm at the part, I think I'm season 3 of the beginning. I don't even remember what the character's name is, but there's like, she's got to do with fire. I think she's supposed to be a phoenix or something. And it's more of a, at this point, more of a ghost story than anything else. We'll add some poppy red to this. No, let's not do the red. Let's find a nice pink. Blush pink? No, not quite. What's the difference between blush pink and true pink? They kind of look alike. I know I have another pink in here somewhere. And then I have a cherry. To me, they all kind of look alike. They're all one shade different than each other. But I have another pink in here somewhere. I know I do. I know I'm not crazy. Please don't roll. Some orange. That's a raspberry. Maybe the raspberry? Cardinal. Does that look like a red to you? That doesn't look like a red to me. That looks like an orange. Hollywood. I can't find the proper pink. Did I use it up? I might have used it up. Oh dear. Well. In that case, let's go with, we'll go with the cherry. Maybe a little bit of the raspberry as well. Oh, so thrilling watching me do this. Let's make a happy little tree right over here. Whoa. Whoa. Of course, it broke. Second I put it down, it broke. Okay. Okay. Again? Seriously? Bob Ross never has this problem. Mr. Dress Up never had this problem. Okay, to all my Canadian viewers, which I don't think there's any, put in the comments if you remember Mr. Dress Up. I'm assuming you guys never got that down in the States because it was a Canadian children's show. After all that fuss, and we're only colored in the eyes so far. Alright, let's use this raspberry for the mouth. I know that in the last couple of years, another Canadian TV show that I grew up on that really created my personality was Hilarious House of Frightenstein. And I know I used to watch that growing up, like in the 70s and 80s, Canadian. But in the last few years, I know it got released on DVD, and it's been on streaming. It's been on, some of the episodes have been on YouTube. So I know a lot of Americans have been able to see that in the last, what, 4 or 5 years, maybe a little longer. For me, it used to be played back to back. You'd have the Addams Family, the Munsters, and the Hilarious House of Frightenstein. They would get played in the mornings as a pack. Let's go with an orange. Am I still recording? Yep. They get played in the morning as a pack. And there was a cartoon, which I believe... No, I'm thinking of the live action one now. There was a cartoon called The Drac Pack. And there was also a live action TV show called The Monster Squad. Completely different from the movie. And those ones used to get played Saturday mornings back to back. And I think the Monster Squad TV show I think it's still available on the Roku channel. Okay, let's add a little more of our pink here. Us Canadians, we sure liked our vampire shows, I'll tell you that much. As we have the Hilarious House of Frightenstein, which had the quote-unquote lead character as the Count. And trivia for anyone, that's where the original Mini-Me comes from, is that there was a mini Count for some of the segments. And of course, Mike Myers grew up watching the show in Canada and decided to add a Mini-Me to the Austin Powers. So yeah, there was Hilarious House of Frightenstein, which had the Count. SCTV had a Count, Count Floyd, as a failed horror host. There was the cartoon Mona the Vampire. Before that, back in the 80s, we had The Littlest Vampire. That one was a co-production between Canada and I think Germany. And then, of course, in the 90s, we had Mona the Vampire, Forever Night. In the late 90s, early 2000s. Oh, wait, I missed Dracula the series. That was a YTV here in Canada. And I believe it got played in the States. I believe. That was another Canadian-Germany co-production. Mid-90s, then we go on to the TV show The Lex. Again, another Canadian-German co-production where the character of Kai was technically a vampire. He was like this zombie ghoul thing that was undead and immortal, but he needed the certain plasma to live, so that makes him a vampire. And of course, Canada did again, but this one was a Canadian-American co-production, and that was the Highlander series, both the Highlander and Highlander the Raven. Yep, Highlanders are a vampire. Think about it. I talked about this over a decade ago on another video. I believe I called the video That's a Vampire, or Those Are Vampires, or something like that. And I pointed out what nobody really seems to understand. Highlander, they are an immortal, undead creature that lives off the life energy of, well, in this case, other Highlander undead creatures that they lock the head off of. And the quickening is the life essence. That is a soul-sucking vampire. Then we go into the late 90s, early 2000s, and we have the TV show Vampire High. That was a Canadian show that lasted, was it 2 seasons? It was either 1 mega season, or I seem to think it was 2 seasons. And then, of course, in the early mid-2000s, like I think 2005 2005, there was the TV show Blood Ties about the cop who, as she's going blind, but she's teams up with a vampire. I seem to think there's one more vampire TV show that came out that's Canadian. Well, that's just off the top of my head. That's without looking anything up. And then, of course, there's how many vampire movies? The TV show The Hunger, which had quite a few vampire episodes, that was shot in Canada. Is that a Canadian-American one, or was that a Canadian-British one? I can't remember. But it was based off of the movie The Hunger, which was a vampire movie. And like I said, we've had a ton of vampire movies in Canada. Oh, I should do that. I should do a rundown on Canadian vampire movies, because there's so many. There is so many. Oh, what color? What are we doing now? Let's work on his hair. Do some blue. We'll do some blue. We'll put some of these ones back. I believe I have talked about, I have done a review from 10 years ago of Blood and Donuts, which is a Canadian vampire movie. And I talked about, I believe it was called Bloodsuckers. It had a couple of titles. But I believe, yeah, and that was a Canadian vampire movie. So I've talked about those two. I've done reviews for those. You can find those reviews in my, if you go back farther in my, on my channel, or you could go through the playlist that says blog topics, cooking and movie reviews, or movie reviews and cooking. They're on there, but they are part of my Nightbleed's vampire movie reviews. Did I talk about any other Canadian vampire? I'm not sure. I might have to go back and watch my own playlist. Like, I'm not joking. I might actually have to go back and watch my own playlist. What is your favorite vampire movie? Or who's your favorite vampire character from, like, any movie or TV show with a vampire? Oh, I talked about Nick Knight too, I believe, it might have been in the bloopers and Unfinished Business, I think. that was the basis for Forever Night. Oh, that one needs to be. Wow, he really does look like Nicolas Cage. At least that's what I'm seeing. You might be seeing something completely different. What was the last vampire movie that you saw? Let me know in the comments. I might put up a poll. Yes, I think I will. I think I will put up a poll in the next day or so. Probably by the time that I actually get this edited and put up there, the poll will be there. I might put up a couple of polls actually. In regards to some books, because I've got a huge to read list. Like my stack is huge. The stack is huge of to read. So I might let you guys pick a couple of the next ones to do the reviews on. I picked up a couple of classics and picked up a couple of werewolf ones. I've got quite a few new vampire books, but I'm spoiling things because I have a couple of videos coming up in the next couple of weeks with footage. So I should shut up because I'm just spoiling things. Are we still recording? Yep. Okay. I've got this way too high, but I put it up high enough so that I wouldn't be smacking into it. I'd like to know too, going off the topic of this for a second and into the topic of cooking, what cooking channels do you guys watch on YouTube? For those of you who watch cooking channels. And I know I've got a couple of new people, new subscribers. Hello, thank you, my spud guns, who discovered me from the couple of cooking videos that I've put out in the last month or so. The jam and the fried rice and the chili. I'd like to know who you watch the most when it comes to cooking. And for those of you who came to me recently from Halloween content, what other Halloween channels do you watch? Let me know all this kind of stuff in the comments. His hairline. I screwed up on his hairline. Doesn't look right here. I'm gonna have to see if I can figure out how to fix that one. I don't know if I can. It might just have to be screwed up. Can't move. I can't move the book because there's just a very tight space between the tripods. I made his hair go in the wrong direction here. I made it go this way when I should have made it go that way. Can we fix it? Maybe? Okay, where are we now? Let's try to match up. A little bit with the coloring. I've been trying to get, now this is shaped a little funny. I've been trying to get some of my buddies to come on camera, but nobody wants to. Because I've been wanting to do some interviews and to kind of find a new co-host, but nobody wants to come on camera. Okay, can we clean him up a little bit? I think he's done. I think he's done. Oh, wait. Wait. Let's get some red. Let's get a little bit of red. Now let's just... very sloppily. Very sloppily add some blood. I think I ruined it. Damn. Yeah, I screwed up. Oh well. All right. Since I screwed up, we're done. I have no idea what next week's episode is, but until then, creeping screams.